The best hope for growth in 2013, is it the emerging markets? No, it isn't. It certainly isn't Europe, and it's not really China. You know what it might be? The United States of America. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Markets Hub. I am Paul Vigna, joined by Matt Walter this morning because we are talking about 2013 growth prospects. You reported on a new report from the Conference Board, which really says, look, the best hope in 2013 is the U.S.
Yeah, it's not an overly optimistic forecast, right, really, because the outlook is that the U.S. economy will slow in 2013. But what they do highlight in the report is that there is some upside potential for the U.S. to surprise. And what they're really talking about there is the strength of the U.S. consumer, which we've seen, despite all the uncertainty and as we get towards the end of this year with the U.S. election, right, and the fiscal cliff coming up. Businesses have really retrenched and pulled back on their spending, but consumers continue to be fairly optimistic. Right,
and Conference Board, they produce one of the big consumer sentiment surveys, yeah, so they're really well known for that. So you would assume that they'd have a pretty good handle on that. See some people there buying some Star Wars toys and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting. They do say, I think they said they expect 2012 GDP for the U.S. to be about 1.8%.
1.8, right? Down from about 2.1 this year.
That's not a strong number. No. And their GDP number, their prediction for the global GDP is only 3%, which, if memory serves, was about what it was in 2008.
I believe so, yeah.
I looked it up before the show.
Okay.
I'm being a little quiet. I looked it up before the show.
Right.
So, I mean, these are not strong numbers. What's going on with the emerging markets? Because the last few years, emerging markets have been really strong.
Right. So that's the other big shift that they talk about in this report is that, through 2010 and 2011, emerging markets continued to, invest in big ways in infrastructure and new production capacity. Big sort of, they call it catch-up spending, as their economies kind of catch up to the developed world. And they're expecting that in the coming years that's really going to slow down. And so they're predicting a pretty dramatic, out over the next 2 decades as these developing economies kind of rebalance and back off from this catch-up spending, that their growth rates are really going to level off and go down.
Now, if that dynamic is going on, we know what's going on in Europe, right? I mean, Europe is it's in a very, very bad state right now. China, we're going to talk about China in a minute too, actually, the big leadership change they began. It used to be pretty easy, right? If the U.S. was growing, it took the rest of the world with it. Is it still that easy?
Well, I think this is sort of the, what you're getting at is kind of the pessimistic outlook, really, for the global economy.
I guess you're right there.
Is that no matter where you look, there's, obviously Japan and Europe are going to basically.
Yeah, Japan, I didn't even mention that.
When you compare the United States to the rest of the developed world, 2% growth, 2.3% growth, which is what they're expecting over the next, 6 or 7 years, actually is pretty good when you compare it to Europe, which I think they're expecting like 1.3, Japan around 1%.
Yeah.
So, big upside surprise engines for global economic growth kind of just aren't in this forecast.
Yeah, let's be optimistic, because we are optimistic here at Markets Hub. Really, we are. Let's say we get a deal on the fiscal cliff December 1st. It's never going to happen, but I'm holding out for it. Right, getting a deal early. Congress comes together, the White House comes together. How much of a sentiment changer do you think that would be? And maybe we would have a better 2013.
So one thing they point to, which gets to what you're talking about, is business spending on non-defense capital goods. Starting in the third quarter and the fourth quarter of this year, started going down.
And that's a key measure of business spending, right? That's in the durables, durable good report.
And they've dipped into recessionary territory. But the U.S. is not in a recession, right? So this is obviously businesses that are basically CEOs that are just pulling back amid all this uncertainty. If something like what you just described happens, then presumably there's a lot of pent-up demand that's going to get unleashed, right in the first quarter of next year, which could give the U.S. economy a nice jump.
That's the optimistic take, right?